Hello, this is Witch Nikki. Pull up a hot coffee or some tea if you want to. It's a rainy day here in California, which we need. Hey Google, can you lower the volume, please? The last time I showed you how to make these, and I was going to use them for earrings. So I had to go looking through my findings, and most of the time that I've seen these are called drop hooks because they help to drop, I guess. They drop down from your hook. These don't have them. You just have the hook loop, and you have, I don't even know how they did manage to do this. I didn't make these earrings, so they have this little cone shaped thing and then a ball. Maybe, I don't even know how these are done up in there. I'd almost like to take apart my earrings and see how it's done, but then I'd have to put it back together, and I don't want to ruin it. Every once in a while, if I don't know how to make something that I want and I see it, I buy it. And I don't usually, very sparingly do I ever order things from people that I don't know very well. I have to look at their page several times. I look if they're on Instagram and they have Etsy. I look there. I look and see what people are saying about them. I get to know them. I follow them a little bit, and maybe I ask them questions about the necklaces or bracelets or whatever I'm buying. I ask them. I want to make sure that I'm getting some good information from them and from others. Also, what I like to do is once in a while, I order something homemade, handmade by somebody else, and I check it out. They don't really know that I'm doing this. I check it out to see how they're doing it, not to copy it. And I give good feedback to them. When I go back on Instagram or Etsy or wherever, I make sure that I post them. I say, look what I got from wherever, and to sort of help people's businesses out here to grow. I don't want to say that I failed in jewelry making and selling and stuff like that. It's just that it's a very, very competitive market. If you don't know, you could just look on Instagram. Start following beading jewelry, beading earrings, stuff like that. Hashtags. Follow the hashtags for that, and you're going to find a lot of people out there who are making the same or better. Right now, though, I'm going to kind of show you what I was trying to do. So I have the thread already, because to see me struggling threading a needle is just pathetic. I always use some wax. This is from a tea candle, but it works quite well. What I do is I put it on the wax, press my thumb against it, and just pull it, and it gets waxed. Okay? This helps to thread. It helps so that your thread the needle, it helps that your thread does not fray like they do. They have a tendency, once they've moved through the whatever you're threading or sewing, like the beads, material, yarn, anything, whatever you're doing, eventually your thread will start to fray. Or even yarn, I've noticed, gets kind of fray after you've worked it and worked it. Like me, I go through different kinds of yarns. Once it becomes just unbearable to use anymore, like it's so frayed and so fragile or whatever, I just I find a use for it and I use it. But I might not use it for crafts, because imagine if I had made something like this, which I did make recently, and I kind of made a mistake with it too, but I'm still wearing it. You can't even notice that there is a mistake, and it's not really a bad mistake. When you make an infinity scarf like this, the ends are supposed to meet like this, and somehow it got twisted, so therefore it has a twist in it. But even Ginger told me, she says, well, once you put it on, you have it all twisted around your neck anyway, so nobody's going to really notice and nobody's going to care. And if they do care or say something, I have sign language for that. Just kidding. You make stuff, and if you make a mistake, you either correct it or just say, hey, that's the way I meant it to be. Okay? So, I was running into a problem because, like I said yesterday, this is something I just created in my head. And for those who might not have seen that video, you could go back to it. I may or may not leave a link. This is what I'm trying to create here with these. Okay. I have an extra one. This is the one that I showed you with. I might do an extra pair or something. Not really anybody that I know in my family wears earrings. So I usually just make them for myself, and I wear them and see how they go. That's one thing that you should do, is if you're going to make earrings to sell, wear them a good long time before you decide to make them and sell them to people. The reason why you want to do this is make sure that they're not going to fall apart. If you're doing something like this, you really want to concentrate with that. Make sure that this kind of thing is not going to fall apart. Once you sell it, people are going to rate it and give you either thumbs ups or thumbs downs, and good, one product that you just make and then try to sell online could ruin your whole business if you don't check it out yourself and make sure that it's okay. And what you should do, since we're all pretty worried about health and stuff like that with COVID right now, you want to get some extra findings, okay? And take out one good pair, clean it. Even if it comes in a bag like this, before you use it, clean it with alcohol, and then use them for your testing, okay? And then when you're done testing, don't just clean them off and sell them, okay? What I think you should do, or what I'm suggesting that you do, is take a new fresh one and put it on there. They're so easy to open up and to place onto your earrings once you could get them out of the bag. a lot of people pause when they want to show something that they might have to struggle with. I'm going to show you that it's okay to struggle. Now, everybody who does any kind of jewelry should have needle nose pliers. This is one I just happen to have in the house, thank goodness, because the rest of my stuff is out in the garage and it's pouring out there today. So I'm glad that I had the sense to one time come in here and do some work here. So you see how I'm going to hold it there. See, I've just opened it up a little smidgen. And then you just close it. You want to close it really good, because that's all you need is for your one-of-a-kind jewelry to fall out of the loop. So you're going to close that up as good as you can when you've put it on your earrings. So keep one pair that you're going to use as testers, and just keep them. You know what I do? I use like one of my empty medicine jars to put whatever little findings and stuff. So you could just mark it test earrings or test findings, whatever you want to call them. Okay. And then just have them to the ready to the side so that you're switching them out, so you're not even though my ears have been pierced for years, and there's nothing like anything that the holes are not fresh, so there's nothing goopy or something, but there's always like sometimes I don't know why. I think it's usually this one. Every once in a while, for some reason, it gets yucky. Not all the time. It will just happen. Like one day I'm wearing earrings, take them out. I never sleep in your earrings, because that could pull them. So I don't even know why sometimes, but it hasn't done that for a while. But maybe some of you have had that phenomenon, or whatever it's called. I need to scoot up a little bit. I don't like seeing so back so far from the table, and my table doesn't move, so yeah. So anyways, enough about ears and goopiness, but that's what I think is a good thing to do. A very good practice to do is switch out. So I'm not in the process of using these yet, but I'll use one of those for my tester pieces. One of the kits of beads that I had these loops already with it, but I haven't figured out what I want to do with them yet. They're perfectly fine if you like to wear something like that, but these were for, I guess, for adding beads to it somehow. Now I was thinking about between this, using thread, and using the elastic stuff. But, see this elastic stuff. Elastic thread. Ugh. Let's see if I have something dark too that I did. You should also always have something dark to put against here so that you could show. See that thread? These are elastic. I found that they're good for bracelets, pretty much. Today I'm going to be using these beads, these seed beads, and I had extra ones because I had a set of beads from a online class. I signed up for it, and the class was free, but you paid for the materials they sent. So I'm not going to get into all of that, but anyways, I did get several of these that just came in these little baggy things, and well, I just didn't like them. Plus, I found these came from a Pollo Loco salsa. There's like so much salsa in here, and so I have like a whole bunch of them. I even still have some that are still with nothing, but I'll find something. Maybe the findings will go in there. I washed them out, of course, thoroughly, and let them dry. Dried them out, and then here you go. And let's make sure, this is the first time I've really, all you need to do is just lift up. See? So, there you go. And I have some pink, because I figure that kind of goes with it, but I wanted also some other color that kind of highlights it or whatever. So these colors, I like this one. See how this is? This has kind of some pink and purplish when you look at it different ways. See that? And yeah, I thought I would do that today, and I'm already going on 17 minutes there. That's a big deal. I'm going to go as long as I want to on these things, and you either watch them or you don't. I'm not out here to be funny and stuff like that, but sometimes I'm just naturally funny, and it's okay. The reason why I didn't want to use this one thing, it's a pain in the butt to kind of, oh, here we go. Well, after it's been curled like that, see how this end, where's my piece of, see that? The end is kind of loopy. It actually could work. I just don't know how it would work for earrings. I guess it could. What I'm trying to figure out, though, is how to loop the earrings, you know, on here. Which way do I want to, like, stitch them on? Actually, stitching them. So, let me open up. What would be a good color to go first? Like the base. I'm going to use maybe some black, and then go from there. And some of this. No, I'm going to use that. I just don't like to open up too many because I don't want all of them to be spilling all over. So, okay. So, because this is what I was thinking. Say if I get to this end here, what am I going to do? Tie it and then put the beads on like that and just have them hanging like that. And let me see, what else did I have? I wanted some different beads for the bottom part. Oh, you know what? I have some bells. Just go crazy with this stuff. I think either Ginger or I made a bracelet with, I don't think it fits on me. Maybe it does. It's with that elastic stuff. See? It's got bells on it. But it got some other bells in here too. And I love belts. bells let you know when spirits are around. Okay, let's see, because I kind of wanted is to like I wanted like 4 strands. I just saw these in here. That's a great idea. I like this. I didn't quite finish this one yet because I still gonna have the ends where I tied the knots. Let me see if I can find some more of this color. I have red and I have this color. So for 2 of them, I would need 8 bells. If that's how I'm gonna end it. Yeah, there we go. Awesome. Somewhere along the way, I also have this wire, and I don't know what this and this and this. I always got stuff, and then I'm like, what am I going to do with this? But it's really neat stuff. Like this, a little kit. Not with the buttons, but the buttons are just in there because I was using them. And glass beads by Crafter's Square, and I found it at a Dollar Tree store. So, don't know if they have any more of those. It was about 2 years ago or something like that. Oh, these aren't even in there. They're just on the label. Doesn't matter. So, this kit has these teeny little straws, little pipes, little whatever you call them. I'm going to try to hold it with my tweezer so you can get a good look. See? They're shaped like that. They all are. And not these. These are made out of like porcupine quills, I believe. See them? So those are much longer. These are just glass. They also have teeny tiny like pearls and pearlish colors like pink. And then this one is some kind of maroon color. You see that? That might look good on there. So you kind of want to look at what do you want to use on here. But these bells, that's the ticket. See? And you can put it down there at the end. Because you want something at the end so that, how do I put it? So this is one of the circles that I crocheted. And I'm just going to find one of the chains at the bottom. This is the bottom, even though I'm holding it up. But I'm going to work from this direction like that. I'm not going to put the hook on it yet. Although I should, because then that will tell me where to go from there. In fact, what I like about handmade items is because they look handmade. They don't look like some kind of machine did it. And you're not going to find anything like this ever. So you just pick a spot that, see, I don't know if you can see it. See that? And that's what I was trying to think, as if I wanted to tie it here and work on each strand. So I think that's what I'm going to do. So what you want to do is make this as even as possible. I'm always kind of clumsy with my hands and stuff when there's a camera going and whatever. Do you like the music I have? Google. I asked Google to play Native American flute music because she gets kind of confused when I ask for Native American music. She always hears the American part, and then she plays some American music that's kind of native-ish. I don't know. I've never heard it before. It's not Native American music, though. It's not like what I wanted. Okay, that was only just like crisscross applesauce. That wasn't a knot. I might say some weird things and I don't care. You know what? I just don't care. I don't care anymore. Crisscross applesauce. I know that's for sitting down. Crisscross your legs. Crisscross applesauce. Who came up with that? So you tighten it pretty tight. I know there's all different kinds of ways to do this, probably. But in my mind, this is what's working. Do you ever just have something you want to do? It's just in your mind and you just want to do it. Just because you want to try it out. Especially now during the pandemic. You know what? The more we talk about the pandemic just openly, like the weather. Hey, how's the pandemic treating you? Oh, pretty good, actually. It hasn't hit me yet, so I'm fine. Check each other out. Check us on each other is what I'm trying to say. No, I'm not trying to say that. So that was twice. I'm just saying, hey, how's the weather? Oh, and how are you doing with the lockdown? Even though in some parts of California, the governor has lifted our stay-at-home lockdown thing. So some people are just so happy. And I think he gets pressured a lot by businesses who are just going to fail miserably because they have nobody going out to eat out. Nobody's going to get their nails done. Nobody's going to get their hair done. Well, you know what? We've learned that we could do stuff at home by ourselves. I do my nails. I need to do them more. If I stop for a minute, and you would see that there's flaws to them. And hey, I got some color in my hair. I do my own bangs. Cut them when I need to. I just cut. Okay? No big deal. We can live. We can live without all of those places, can't we? Okay? I don't know what some of you are doing, but we call out almost every night. So I don't know what those restaurants are crying and complaining about. They're busy as heck. Okay, let's continue with this. Because now that I found that there's bells, I want to get this going. Oops. My needle came off. Oh no. That's okay. You know what I'm going to do is tie this a couple of really good times. Knot it again. And one more time for good measure. Because you just don't want things coming undone that you've made and put so much effort into, whether you sell it or make it just for yourself, because there's nothing more embarrassing or panicking than when you have an earring and suddenly you realize that it's lost or gone or something, and you check up here and it's like, the hook's still here. I've been pretty lucky with most of my stuff. There was one time earring that Ginger got for me, and it came off when I was going somewhere, and I got out of the car and I realized that it was gone. I only had one end, and they were similar to these beaded earrings, and the earring had come out, but it was because of my seatbelt. So this is one thread, okay, and I'm gonna do another one, but I need to get it threaded, because to go through the yarn you need to have it threaded. So you're gonna have to watch, or I could pause it, but okay. Won't be too bad because I have waxed this the other day. Try not to use any cuss words when I miss. Grape soda. Peanut butter sandwiches. You know what? I think I need to wax it a little bit more. A couple more times. See how many tries it takes? Oh, well. So basically what I'm showing you is just to be patient. Because if you get frustrated, it's just not going to work at all. You don't want to be frustrated or angry or upset or negative feeling when you're doing jewelry. Especially if you're going to sell it, or any kind. Even if just for yourself, you don't want to wear the negativity. You don't want to sell the negativity out there. People just wearing earrings that have been made so angrily. Ugh. So, take your time. See it? Other people will pause because they don't want they don't want you to see how long it actually takes, and they don't want you to see how frustrated they get. So it takes a few minutes or whatever. Some of you are probably wondering why I said grape soda. It was the first non-cussing type cuss word that I could think of. Grape soda. People used to tell me not to say certain words. Don't say the Lord's name in vain. Well, how did those people know that I'm using his name in vain and not just calling on him for strength? Okay. I think it's split. I don't know. might have to almost give up on this. I'll use the other end because this one's split. I don't want to do it again. Because sometimes the wax might come off after you've handled it a few times. It gets warm and then just crumbles off or gets off it. Yep, even with glasses on. Let's see. Oh. Try to see if this works. Okay, so sorry I did have to pause, but my granddaughter and daughter had to come in the room to get ready. My daughter goes to work, so anyways, I went ahead and finished tying this on and tied it on to knots. So once it gets the weight of the beads on, they're going to be like that. So then you also have to decide, you need to leave some room for the knots at the end. Okay, so anyways, well, that's what I'm going to do is see, because I'm going to put the bells on the end. I'm just going to see how it's going to work. Now, sometimes in sorry about that. She'll be going to work, so I have 37 and some seconds. So yeah, I saw how it's going to look with the just one bell. I just tried one bell at the end, and I'm gonna have to tie knots. I really don't like with my earrings to tie knots for some reason, but it's going to be like that. So, I think what I'm going to do is go down the string here, get to the end, and then this end will go through the bell and back up through a few of the seed beads. I'll tie a knot and then bring it back up, and then the bottom one will protect it. So it'll go on over this part. So yeah. So that means, guess what? I'm gonna have to thread it up again. And I tried using this thingamajig, but usually these threaders just break. This one might be better. I've never seen one plastic like that. Usually they're aluminum and they don't last, but one good tug, that gets it. Okay, so this is part 2. So, and what have we really accomplished? We're almost going on to 40 minutes there. But this is what we've accomplished. And the weight of the beads are going to, you know, like hold it down. So they won't be so like this. They'll be more like together. I just put one thread through like each little chain right here, the chain stitch. Okay, and then I'm going to be putting these up in here. I could do that. It's not ready yet, but I want to show you how easy, hard, or difficult it is. So I've opened it up about that much. And try not to lose the little spring and bead. I don't know what those are actually for, just decorations, I guess. So then I'm going to kind of put that down. I want to kind of pull that up a little bit. And I want to get it through enough of the threads that it's really sturdy. And that it's right above here, because you don't want it like off to the side kind of wonky. So I'm just kind of eyeballing it from here up. That ought to do it. Do you see that? Okay. Then you just very carefully move it just a little bit so that you want these guys up out of the way. Then you take this and you put it on the open end. It's kind of hard to do, but you get used to it. And you just close it. You turn it till it closes. Really good, because like I said, you don't want to lose your earrings. Whether they're for yourself or somebody else, a gift, there's nothing more embarrassing for somebody to tell you that they've been lost. I've never had anybody come back and tell me, oh, my earring got lost. And you just have to kind of play around with this. Spring and the little ball bearing or whatever it's called. Okay, so that would also be helpful to me, so that I can, if I want to work with it on something, see, there's all kinds of stuff, and I could just put it here. If I need to go, you know, like to the restroom or something like that, you could just put it there. Also, it could be kind of helpful to tying knots, or if sometimes, not often, but I might use just a drop of clear nail polish to the edge, the knot, just a little drop, just to kind of lock it into place there. I'm not going to do that here, but this is just some kind of, I guess it was, oh, it was honey. I use that for all kinds of little knickknacks in it, and then whatever. So yeah, see that? Yeah, I could do the same to this. I'll get this set up by the next time that I start this, because I'm going to show you putting it on the string and how does that go, and all this. So we're just kind of doing this together, okay? And if you want to try it, and then if you say, hey, you know where you struggled that one part, well, here's a better way to do it, write it below in the comment, or send me what do you call it, send me a link where you've seen it work before, or you've seen how they've done it differently, because I might not have seen it ever before. So anyways, the next one, I'm going to have this one on the hook, and I'm going to have the threads from it. I just wanted to show you basically that. That's pretty much what I'm going to be going for. It doesn't look like too much with the strings just hanging there on it, but with the bells, I love bells. I don't have bells on a lot of my jewelry, but I love bells. I actually love these too, because when they move in the breeze or something, there's kind of like little Not a big wind chimes, but I just love it. It's kind of musical. It's nice. So okay, I'll see you next time. Thanks for tuning in. And hey, don't let the pandemic get you down. Just keep being creative. Even if it's in a coloring book, even if it's watercolors, if you can't get out in the outside to do gardening, spring is coming, but stay inside. Find something to do. Snuggle up on the couch and read a book. Write a book. Write poetry. So, I'll see you next time.